Well, those Texas House Democrats that fled Texas say that their fight is far from over. They're ready to hang out in D.C. for weeks. Oh, all while on the taxpayer dime, by the way. They receive $221 a day in per diem. That's in addition to their salary. And the charter flight that they took up to D.C., by the way, cost about $100,000. But Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar, she's thrilled.
We stand here with these people of courage, with freedom fighters who came to Washington, D.C. To seek salvation, because they are not going to be able to get that governor of Texas to protect the voting rights of the people of Texas.
Oh, God. Our company is here to react. RNC National Spokesperson and Black Media Affairs Director Paris Denard and National Memo Editor-in-Chief Joe Conason. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Paris, I want to start with you. Freedom fighters? I cannot believe that they're not doing their job. I mean, if she wants to talk about them, if they're there in Texas and they're fighting, this isn't how you get things done. You don't run from it. If they want to stay and fight and talk about it, I get it. But to talk about running away from your job and then you're a freedom fighter?
Sean, do you remember when Amy Klobuchar was running for president? She always would say, "Who says that? I mean, come on, who says that?" Seriously, Senator Klobuchar, who says that? Freedom fighters seeking salvation? Freedom fighters are the people in Cuba right now who are literally trying to be saved from communist Cuba, where they have no property rights, they have no ability to be an entrepreneur, where they're actually starving and for freedom. They want American freedom. Those are freedom fighters. The cowards from the Texas legislatures who are fleeing from their jobs and their responsibilities because they don't want to have election integrity, they are not freedom fighters. And they owe every Texan a refund for the silly, foolish boondoggle of a PR stunt that they're pulling. It's embarrassing. And Klobuchar and the Democrats should actually apologize to actual freedom fighters who are seeking salvation, because those Texas Democrats are certainly not it.
Joe, what I think is missing from this debate that annoys me to no end is I want to hear a provision that these Texas legislators are proposing, the Republicans, that is going to inhibit somebody's freedom. Because right now, as of a year ago, you voted by either going on election day or casting an absentee ballot. Everything that is happening right now actually increases your ability to vote. No one's freedom is at stake here.
Well, Sean, clearly the Texas Democrats feel differently. Why would they, if they thought that the proposals by the Republicans in the legislature were going to improve people's opportunity to vote, I don't think they would have left. They're,
but this isn't about feelings. What I want to know is...
No. You know what I mean. They're committing an act of civil disobedience, and, that's their choice. I think Amy Klobuchar said freedom fighters just to annoy you guys. I mean, I don't know, they're not like the people fighting the regime in Cuba. That's certainly true, although why that has to be dragged into this, I'm not sure. But, there's an ongoing debate over voting rights in this country, and it's clear that the Republicans would like to restrict people's access to the ballot in many places.
That's just not true.
They say it's because of election integrity.
Okay, stop. Here's what I'm going to ask you, Joe. Joe, do me a favor. You can answer one question.
Go ahead.
Tell me, this is what honest to God, I want to know this, because these are all DNC talking points. Tell me one provision, name one that restricts somebody's right to vote. One provision that restricts it.
Well, if they're for instance limiting the number of drop boxes as they try to do, to make it one drop box in a county of many thousands of people.
How many drop boxes were there? Hold on, time out. Okay, so last year before the pandemic, there were zero.
Yes.
Hold on, there were zero. So you know what? Should we have 1 million drop boxes? Should everybody get their own drop box out in front like they used to deliver milk and you got a box out there? I mean, this is a stupid discussion. There was no such thing as a drop box prior to the pandemic.
But there were, and there should be. See, the thing is that they're not negotiating in good faith with the Democrats. They drew up a bill, they rammed it through the legislature. They're not discussing with the Democrats, especially the minority members of the legislature, what their concerns are with these provisions, and they should. I know what's wrong with having a real discussion and taking into account people's concerns.
Well,
They
here's
won't
here's
do
the
it.
problem.
I wish they would have a discussion, but they're not there to have it. They've fleed their jobs
no,
so
that's not
far.
fair either, Lindsay. They were there until the moment when the legislators on the Republican side decided they were going to ram this stuff through, and the Democrats said, "No, you're not."
Okay, so let me just ask this. Hold on, I'm sorry, Lindsay. I want to get this with Joe. Paris, I apologize because I know.
No,
but here's my question. The way it works and the way the U.S. House works and the way that every book club works and every Cub Scout troop works is the majority wins. That's how it works. And so the point is that the way that the Texas, yes, it is. So tell me,
is that
what
how
are
the
they,
U.S. Senate
are they
works,
supposed
Sean?
to run away every time they don't like the bill?
Is that how the U.S. Senate works? You're fine with the minority rule in the U.S. Senate for some reason. Why is it bad when the minority protests in Texas?
You don't see the Republicans bailing Washington. They're there actually having a discussion.
Well, they don't need to. They have rules that allow the minority to control the legislature in Washington, which is completely wrong. But that's
right. But that's the Senate.
McConnell
this
manipulates
is the Texas
that,
House. So let's talk about the U.S. House. The U.S. House plays by the same rules that they do.
You just said everywhere in the world majority rules, and we know that's false because the majority right now in this country is controlled by a minority in the U.S. Senate that is able to overrule the vast majority of votes.
Hold on, Paris, I need to get you in because I feel bad. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Look, at the end of the day, Sean, your point is correct. When it comes to freedom fighters, these people are not freedom fighters. And when it comes to the laws that are being enacted and trying to be enacted to make it easier to vote and harder to cheat, they're not making it so that people cannot vote. No one's freedom to vote is not happening. But what is happening?
The only people I've seen cheating are Republicans so far. We caught one in New York the other day on Staten Island. Guy was, using absentee ballots to try to win a.
You know what? Hold on one
prize.
second. When the Supreme Court just ruled against the DNC in Arizona with the Republican Party there, the DNC could not find one example of how anybody was disenfranchised or any black person or Hispanic, anybody minority was not able to vote when they got rid of ballot harvesting and voting in your precinct. It's because it's a farce. We are making it easier to vote and harder to cheat. No one's freedoms are being infringed upon because it's a constitutional right.
Where's the cheating?
Great discussion. I got to jump in here because we're way over time. We'll have to pick this back up. Great discussion.
Thank you.
Paris, Joe, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
All right.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV because we're real news for real people.